What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about some spicy things. We're going to be talking about healthy relationships. We're going to be talking about money, finance, investments, and how that works in a relationship. And this video, we're going to talk about how we met, right? Like, how did we start this partnership? So let's get into it.
Yeah. So I feel like let me start by saying this, like, we are each other's most healthy relationship.
By far.
Even in our challenges and the things that we, have to work through, like, as a couple, we've done them in the most healthy way. And I think that that's like one of our most humble brags about our relationship is, our ability to communicate
and problem solve.
I think that's better. Because we work every day to make to work on our communication and things like that, but our ability to problem solve in a healthy way is like, I think that's our most humble brag. So anywho, we wanted to at least start this channel by, you guys getting to know us, and part of getting to know us as a couple is how we met and how we ended up getting married. So, I let Danny tell the story because she gonna end up interrupting me anyway to tell it. So let me just let you start, and then I'll interrupt you when I'm ready.
I like that, baby.
So go ahead.
All right, so Taylor
we've been together
and this is our dog Rex, by the way, our son.
Hi, baby.
He's saying hello.
Hi, Bubba. Hey, baby. Right, I wish y'all could see him right now.
Oh, they can't. He's on the main screen. All right, so Taylor and I, we met through business. It's a little spicy, so I'm trying to see how I want to deliver this. I guess I just got to come out and say it.
Yeah.
Guys, Taylor was my boss. And she was giving me vibes. It didn't start out that way, though. I mean, we literally were not on each other's radar, right? Like, we were just business partners. We just worked together, and some of the early conversations that we had, we can tell how much chemistry we had, not in a romantic or sexual way, but just partners.
Amazing partnership.
Yeah.
We've been together for 4 years now, right?
Yeah.
4 years.
Just about.
And the way we met was through a mutual friend. His name's Mingo.
Shout out to my boy.
So let me just tell you how this conversation started, how she even became off topic in the first place. So, Mingo, I originally was interviewing Mingo for a position at our gym, but before she became in, it was just me, right? So I had a gym in Torrance, California, and I was looking for a manager because I was working a job that was getting ready to move me across the country, and I knew it was coming. So I wasn't just looking for a manager. I was looking for a partner, somebody that could run the business, get some sweat equity, ownership, and, kind of help me while I'm out of the state. So that was always my mission. And so Mingo was one of the first people that I encountered, and we had a great conversation. We actually hit it off too over the phone. I interviewed with him, but he wasn't really fit for the job. He wanted to do more, and we weren't able to kind of meet in the middle with as far as salary and time commitment and stuff like that. And he, had kids, and he just had a lot more responsibility than what the position was for at the time. So we ended up, not working together. But as I continued my search, I ended up calling him back, and I was like, hey, I know you're in the fitness industry. I really need somebody. I'm having trouble finding somebody. Can you help me? And he did. I told him I was doing interviews, and he brought me a few people, and one of those people was Danielle. Or Danny.
And so right. Why keep doing that?
Hey,
y'all see that she did that in the last video too.
I call you that when I'm talking to other people.
You do?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So one of those people was Danny. And she came to the interview.
Mind you, he called me and he was like, "Hey, bro, I have this position. There's this owner. She's looking for somebody to like this, serious. And I think you'd be perfect for this role. Like, you should do it." And I was like, "How much are they paying?" I was not happy with the answer that he gave me, but I also knew that where I was at the time, I was ready for a change. I was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like one of the things that, aside from this, like, I'm a business coach. I love talking about personal finance and entrepreneurship and career goals. And one of the biggest things when it comes to like making money is not always, the number one. Time and money are like cousins. And, you may not be able to make the money you want to make, but if you can have more time or flexibility, then sometimes that's a better trade-off than making more money and never having time to do whatever the heck you want to do. So her job that she had at the time was way further than where she lived. And she didn't have the flexibility that she had, with us working together. She could basically come to work when she wanted to, as long as, she was getting done. And it was a lot closer to home, so that's why she made the decision
and
to
also,
come over.
When we had our first interview, which is funny, like we were what are you doing? We had our interview, y'all, and I go into the interview, I bring my laptop and shit, and I say humbly, I am pretty good at interviews, so we're talking, and my first thought, you know what I'm gonna say. My first thought, I was just like, she talks a lot.
I had no idea I was talking too much. I thought we were just
excited, babe.
I was so excited. She was amazing.
The interview was like 2.5 hours.
Oh, she was so good, and I was like, okay, this is great. This is great.
I felt the same way, by the way. Like, I was really happy about the opportunity that I saw. I felt like I had the job in the bag, and I was just excited about the venture. And I don't know if you remember this, but probably like a month or two into it, like I had called Taylor, and we were just like talking about like what I wanted and what she wanted. And like I said, this is like well before romance was ever introduced, and the conversation was just like this. Like, we're on the phone and we're just talking about like, what we want. And I told her, I was like, what I want out of this is like, I've always wanted to be able to, like, no matter what time of the day it is, call my business partner and be like, yo, like, here's where we're at. Like, this is what I want to do. How do you feel about X, Y, and Z? And like, she just got it. And like, we would just go back and forth. And, my main thing was that like I had and still have the utmost respect for her. And so I've worked for so many people that just were kind of trash. They got me to where I am, so I am grateful for them. But like, I just felt like I had to see her win, and I knew the role that I played in being able to help her win. And I just never lost sight of that, right? Like, I was always thinking of like, what are things that we can do to make sure that this young Black woman, this business owner, is able to shine and thrive. And it was a relentless goal of mine that I saw through every single day.
Yeah. And our business just wouldn't have been able to succeed as much as it did without her. And I know I played my role too, but the point of it is that we just made a really good partnership.
Yeah.
And I don't think, we could, like, she wouldn't have been able to be as successful as she was without me, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So we just worked really well. All of her creative ideas were, her and 9 out of 10 implemented. I don't think she ever had an idea that I said no to, except for maybe one. And it's just because it was just maybe like a logistics thing that just didn't make sense. But, we just worked really well together, which is why or how like we kind of formed this romantic relationship because we worked so well together. Yeah. It was just kind of like one of those things where we look forward to seeing each other. Yeah. And I know we wanted to, hang out. And I eventually, because she has this is one of the things I like about her, or I love about her, is that she just has a really great gift of being able to connect with people. And I was not excluded from that. And she has a way of like, I literally found myself telling her all of my business. We used to have girl talk, telling her all my business, and I didn't know nothing about her. I'm just sitting up here.
You gotta be mysterious.
And I think I started to just like, part of that just, liked listening to her advice and like she didn't know how old I was either, because actually Danny's older than me.
I thought she was older.
So that was part of the whole shenanigan
Right.
too, of why we started fooling around, because she thought I was older than
And
what
I thought
I
that was really hot. Like, I'm like, oh, she's older. Like, oof.
She was like, oh, I got me an older woman. Like,
she got her
this
shit
is
together.
so fun.
Yeah, it's my boss. It's bad, you know?
Yeah, little did she know I'm a whole year younger than her. She was so disappointed when she found out. But I already had her hooked by then, so
yeah,
it didn't matter.
And also like, so we had like a consultant guy that would come to our gym and like just like make sure we were on goal, or we just talk about different stuff. And I remember we were sitting down one day and I was very, not aloof, but I'm very nonchalant. Like I like when I know what my role is and there's no confusion there, I typically get obsessed over that role and I do it very, very well. But it's important that I understand what is expected of me. And that's something that we've done pretty well. Mm-hmm. And so I say that to say, like, he was talking to me about something and I told him, I was like, yeah, you know, he was like, you and Taylor are doing really well. I said, yeah, you know, we have chemistry. I don't think I told you this before. I was like, yeah, you know, we have chemistry. And I looked over at her and she was blushing. And I'm like, what is she thinking? Because I'm like, we got chemistry. What kind of chemistry you think I'm saying? She was just really
I remember that.
Yeah, I do. Because at this point, I was starting to like put the pieces together, because I knew that I loved spending time with her, and I also knew that like this was a world that nobody outside of us would really understand, and it was a world that I truly, truly was obsessed with and loved, and it was really, really nice and refreshing to have somebody like her that, you know, we can have these conversations. And yeah, I mean, I could go on for days. Like,
yeah. So like our relationship started off as a business partnership. Mm-hmm. Which, you know, again, we worked really well as business partners, which expanded into a friendship and then into a romantic relationship. So, like, I think that in a perfect world, you know, this was like a perfect scenario for a relationship, because, you know, not all relationships can do well in a business together. Like, there are people who work well in a relationship, they can never run a business together. Like, we know that we could do that.
Right.
And knowing that that was our foundation, it was scary, because I wasn't sure that we would have a lot in common or a lot of any more chemistry after like we ended up closing our gym.
That was a challenge.
So I was so afraid. I think most of that challenge in our relationship, I was just so afraid that we would not last with not having our gym.
Right.
But I was so wrong about that. Thankfully I was wrong. Mm-hmm. And we have so much more, you know, in common, and so much more to talk about, because literally most of our conversations when we had our business was around our business.
Yeah.
You know, of course we had our romantic conversations and relationships and, you know, fantasies, but like, now not having it and just being able to see our relationship continue to grow outside of that, which was such an identity for our relationship in the beginning.
It really was.
You know,
it's funny you put it like
cool.
that.
Yeah. Like, our business was the identity of our relationship,
which was hard.
Yeah. So
I mean, I guess that's the backstory. We probably should make this like a part 1 and a part 2 be like the spicy stuff.
Yeah, because there's a lot that the little in-betweens, but at least you guys kind of get to know us now, you know, like the background of our relationship. And then, you know, if you guys want us to do a part 2, we can tell you more details.
They want to know how we actually, like, how my boss actually is now my wife. That's what they came to see.
Okay, well,
I know what y'all want, so
we will let you know maybe in another video.
Yeah,
because otherwise we'll be on here for an hour.
Yeah, can't have it.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
Peace.